Here's a pro tip when you're doing a power steering pump. So I just put a new pump on this Honda Civic, and I just finished filling up the reservoir, as you can see, and there's actually air coming out. I don't know if you guys can see that coming out the line. See the bubbles? So what I like to do is, after all the lines are installed, of course, you put fluid inside the reservoir, get in the car, turn the steering wheel all the way to one way, whether it's left or right, doesn't matter, just lock it in one direction. And here I have my drill with a giant, it's essentially a giant eraser. It's made for removing decals off of paint. And what we're going to do is come inside of here, and in this case the power steering pump has to spin clockwise. So in order to get it to spin the correct direction, the eraser wheel has to spin counterclockwise. So all I'm going to do is put it right here on the brand new pulley and do that. Doesn't take much, and you're going to notice that the pump is actually sucking in the fluid. You can see the fluid level has gone down, and we still have more bubbles coming out of the system. So what I'm going to do now is get in the car and turn the steering wheel all the way to the right and repeat this process. And using this method, there's a lot less downtime of trying to bleed the system, because you're essentially purging the air out right now before you even start the engine. On top of that, you're not running the brand new pump dry. So here's something I noticed. This is why it's very important that you have someone look at your car before you just call them and say, hey, change this part for me. Because that's exactly what happened with this Honda Civic. Power steering does not work, and they called me and said, hey, we need you to put a pump on this. When it came in, of course, I had no power steering. What I thought was odd is when I checked the reservoir, it was bone dry, not a single drip in there. And I'm like, that's a bit odd. I think there might be a leak going on here somewhere. And sure enough, let me show you what I found. And there we have it. That's why there's no fluid in the system. That's why the pump isn't working. But here's the thing, you could argue that the pump was never at fault. It was because of the leak. I can agree with that. But something to keep in mind is they've been driving this car around with no power steering. So that pump is pretty much toast. It's had no fluid in it, and you know, it's spinning like that. It's as good as toast. So does it need a new pump? Yes, but the pump is not the original reason. The original cause of this failure is that line leaking. And this Honda is all done. The power steering now works. As you can see, easily turn the steering wheel. Owner's gonna be happy with this. And that's it for this one.